Namaste, friends. I'm Heather Wiest with Love Serve Inspire. And today I'll be guiding you through a strong back, all levels slow flow. For today's practice, I highly recommend a 8 or 10 foot yoga strap. If you don't have a strap, no worries. You'll be able to do the practice without the strap as well. We'll be using this quite a bit through our practice today, as well as 2 yoga blocks and an optional blanket for Shavasana. You can always use thick books for the yoga blocks. I'm here to guide you, but you are always your best teacher. So please listen to your body, stay safe, and have fun. We're going to start today in a seated position using a strap jacket we're going to create. If you don't have the strap, you're just going to sit comfortably on a block if you have one. So I'm going to go ahead and stand up to demonstrate how to get into the strap jacket. It's a great way to improve our posture, helping us to draw the shoulders back and creating space into the front body. So you're going to go ahead and open up your strap. Mine has the D-rings and the strap that'll be able to buckle up. And I'm going to go ahead and bring the strap behind the back, right around where the bra line would be, ladies, or just at the bottom of the shoulder blades. Once you have that, you're going to even out your straps in the front as best you can. And then from here, we're just going to go ahead and take the straps over the shoulders. Just throwing them back, being mindful of what's behind you. And so they're kind of wrapping around the arms and the shoulders. Once you have that, you're going to give a nice little tug, getting it nice. And so it helps to draw the shoulder heads back and down. So it looks like this. And then what I'm going to do is make a cross in the back. I'm going to cross the straps. And I'm going to tighten again, so it's drawing my shoulder heads back. And then I'm going to take the straps in front of me. Now, if you have broad shoulders or a bigger chest, it may or may not work depending on the length of your strap. So if you still have some strap coming forward, you're going to go ahead and loop it up, trying to keep it tight behind you to create that strap jacket. So again, feel free to replay this section to get that before we begin. There you go. So I have it nice and tethered. So I'll be using this for the first few minutes of our practice today. All right, so I'm going to find a block. I'm going to come down and find that comfortable seat. I like using a block down. It helps me to tilt my pelvis a little more forward. You can always sit on the edge of a blanket or a towel. And we'll just begin. We'll take a nice deep breath in and let it go through the mouth. Another deep inhale and a long exhale. Finding that nice tall posture as you're grounded into the mat or the block. And today we're going to take one hand to the heart and one hand to the back of the heart. So the back of the hand reaches back. You may not be able to get it up very high, and that's okay. The lower back would be fine as well. And just allow your eyes to close as you feel yourself breathing. Feel your breath as you inhale, pressing against that front hand. And then as you exhale, pressing against that back hand. There's a great quote from Brené Brown that I love. Strong back, soft front, wild heart. Strong back, soft front, wild heart. I'm just thinking about how this might relate in your world today, maybe where you need a little more strength and boldness, that strong back. Maybe where you need a little more softness or openness in the heart. Breathe, open, and feel. allowing yourself to create a personal intention for your practice. It could be a positive affirmation, it could be a prayer, it could be a deep heart longing, letting that rise to the surface of awareness and just allowing yourself to seal that intention in for your practice today. Two more deep, full breaths. The eyes are closed, you're going to softly open, and we're going to switch our hands. So we're going to release the front hand, take it to the back, and take that back hand to the front. You can keep your eyes open or closed. We're going to be working into a breath technique called Viloma 1. It's where we pause halfway on the inhalation just to draw a little more tension into the chest as we breathe. So you're just going to go ahead and find that natural flow of breath in and out through the nose. And on your next inhalation, you're going to pause halfway at the ribs. Hold 1, 2, and then draw the breath all the way up. And a complete exhalation. Continuing like that as you inhale, pausing halfway. And then drawing the breath all the way up. And complete exhale. 5 more full rounds, drawing our breath and attention into the upper lungs, the upper chest, the collarbone area. If you have the strap on, you really feel your body pressing into that strap. Shoulder heads are drawing back. And as you do so, those front ribs are hugging in. You're engaging that core, bringing stability to the torso. Last round of Viloma 1. We'll gently release the technique. We'll go ahead and release the hands, draw them at heart center, just sealing in your personal intention for your practice. Softly releasing the palms. We're going to transition from our seat into tabletop. You're going to keep that strap if you have it. So finding tabletop position on hands and knees. Making sure the shoulders are over the wrist, you have the hips over the knees. We're going to come into our cow and cat. So as you inhale, the head and the heart come forward. And as you exhale, round through the upper back and draw the navel towards the spine. So you're pushing into that strap. If you have it on, you're feeling our attention drawn into the shoulders and the upper back, the thoracic spine. So just continue any opening here that you can. Linking our breath with movement, feel free to add in some hip sways or big circles if that feels good for you as well. Whatever you do on one side, do on the other. One more deep, full breath. And finding your neutral tabletop. We're going to find puppy dog or melting heart. So I'm going to keep my hips over the knees, keep them high. I'm going to bring both hands forward, drawing the forehead down towards the mat. So I'm really pressing my hands into the floor. I'm gently drawing my navel to spine to support the low back. Those ribs are hugging in. but I'm turning on the upper outer arms and I'm feeling a nice opening into the shoulders and my upper back. 3 more full breaths. Gently drawing the head back up and the hands back. We're in tabletop. If you have the strap jacket, we're just going to release the buckle. We're going to keep the strap jacket on and we're going to use the tail straps for our next pose. So I'm just going to unbuckle, and I have the straps on both sides. I'm still tethering them down, and we're going to make our way onto our belly. Coming on down, again adjusting those straps to where they're still on the shoulders. We're going to find low cobra. So you're going to press your tops of the feet into the mat. The kneecaps lift, the legs are engaged, and the hands are right under the shoulders. The elbows are drawing in, and you're going to inhale, lifting up low cobra, and exhale back down. We're going to do that again, pressing through the feet, kneecaps lift. Inhale, rolling the shoulder heads back. Shoulder blades draw through the chest, opening through the collarbones. Great posture, strengthening our back. And then exhale back down. Resting the forehead on the mat, you're going to bring your arms back, reaching for the straps. So we're going to use the straps to pull back. We're going to keep the feet grounded into the mat, and you're going to bring the feet together as best as you can. So we're working a modified Shalabhasana, locust pose, just working the upper body. The legs are going to stay on the mat. So we're going to inhale, lifting up. Use the straps to find a little bit more opening into the shoulders. Pull them back, or just keep the hands straight back if you do not have a strap. And then exhale back down. One more round here, modified Shalabhasana. Inhaling, lifting, shoulders come off the mat, navel's drawing to spine, pressing through the tops of the feet for this modified variation. One more full breath, strengthening our backs. And exhale back down. Good job. Bringing the hands under the shoulders. We're going to release back to child's pose, and you're going to release the strap jacket. So you can just take it off like a t-shirt, bring it off to the side, finding Balasana, child's pose. Knowing you can come here at any time throughout your practice for a little break. Toes are touching, the knees are spread as wide as the mat. Arms are in front of you, just letting the hips sit back towards the heels as best you can. You can always use a blanket underneath the knees or behind the knees. One more full breath. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead and inhale on up. We're going to prepare for downward facing dog. If you have a yoga block, I'm going to encourage you to take it in between the inner thighs. This reminds us to use the inner thighs and bring some awareness to different parts of the body here. So we're going to go ahead and spread the fingers wide. We're going to tuck the toes under. As you exhale, the hips are going to come up and back. Downward facing dog. So finding stillness here as you have a block or a book maybe between the legs. Feel the legs squeezing together. Now push the hands down and away. And as you do so, tops of the thighs are drawing back and up. Now really hug in those front ribs. Engage the core, bringing stability to the torso. Head is between the biceps. You can feel free to just nod yes and no, just to relax the neck. Solid, firm, downward facing dog, lengthening through our spines. Opening up through the hamstrings. You can bend the knees as much as you need to. One more full breath, knowing and noticing where you need to strengthen and turn on, and maybe where you need to soften, maybe the jaw or the sides of the neck. And then we're going to go ahead and inhale, shift into plank pose with that block. So working large part of having a strong back is having a strong core as well. They're all interconnected. So really a long line of energy from crown of the head through the heels. You're hugging into that block. You're pushing the hands down and away. And energetically, those wrists draw back towards the toes, turning on your side bodies. Nice job. Ribs are hugging in. Feel the widening of the collarbones opening up through the chest. One more full breath. And then you're going to exhale, downward facing dog. Good work. We're going to do 2 more like that, bringing strength to our whole body. So you're going to inhale, shift slowly into your plank pose. You can always drop to the knees if you need to. Pressing the hands into the mat strongly. Energetically, the wrists are drawing back. And maybe you feel a sense of the hands hugging in together towards midline. Also helps engage the arms and the core. Long line of energy again. Tailbone lengthens towards the heels. One more full breath, building heat and strength. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more full round here. Inhale, shift into plank pose. Now, working that upper back now. So imagine the shoulder blades drawing through the chest. And as you do so, you need to lift through those back ribs. The balance. So again, shoulder blades draw through the chest, or you're brought in through the collarbones, and then those back ribs lift. One more full breath, relax somewhere. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice job. We're going to walk our hands back towards the feet. You're going to keep the block between the legs, coming into ragdoll forward fold. So you can bend the knees as much as you need to. Clasping opposite elbows is nice. Maybe you sway a little side to side. Let the head go fully. And then we're going to interlace the hands behind the back and draw the shoulders away from the ears. Let the head and the crown of the head reach towards the mat. And then lastly, we're going to interlace gently behind the back of the neck. Elbows drop down towards the mat. Gently just get some nice little traction for the cervical spine. Be gentle here. Let everything go. And then bringing the hands to the mat, slight bend into the knees, hands to the hips on the next inhale with a flat back. Coming up to standing. So we're just going to walk a little bit forward so you have space. We're going to come into quarter sun salutation. So finding Tadasana mountain pose. It's always awkward with that block, but feel the sense of the hugging in of the inner thighs, the outer shins, and the outer ankles. We're going to inhale the arms up and overhead. We're going to interlace at the top and the index fingers extend to the sky. We're going to go ahead and lean over to the right for standing half moon. So really lengthening through both side bodies, get a nice stretch. Press into the block and find a little more space into that left side body. We're going to inhale to center and exhale over towards the left. Again, pushing into the blocks really helps me find additional length and opening through that right side. One more full breath. We're going to inhale back to center, exhale the hands behind the back, drawing the shoulders away from the ear. Shoulder heads are drawing back. We're gently going to bring that right ear to right shoulder. Maybe you close your eyes here and feel a nice opening along that left side trapezius and shoulder. Soften through the jaw. And then we'll go ahead and exhale the chin in towards the chest. Let everything go here. Soften the shoulder blades, shoulder heads. And then we'll exhale that left ear to left shoulder and then close the eyes again, softening down through the right side trapezius and shoulder. Let your jaw go. Little micro bend into the knees so you're not hyperextending. And then we'll take the chin to the chest again and inhale all the way back up. We're going to release the blocks. For today's flow, we're going to be doing a heart opening variation of our sun salutations. So I'm going to demonstrate in our half suns, I'm going to demonstrate the first round so you get a feel of what we're doing, and we'll be doing it through all of our flows today. So we're going to be finding Tadasana. We're going to inhale the arms up and overhead. And then we're going to exhale, take the hands behind the back, bend the knees, and forward fold, arms lift. Then we're going to inhale, sweeping up into Utkatasana, fierce pose. And then exhale, forward fold. Root to the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart and the front ribs hug in. So please join me. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, interlace the hands behind the back, bend the knees, forward fold, arms lift. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, Utkatasana, fierce pose. And then exhale, straighten through the legs as best you can for your forward fold. Root to the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. And then exhale, hands draw towards heart center and the front ribs hug in. One more round of half sun. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, hands behind the back, interlace, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, weight into the heels, shin shift back. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Root to the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful job. We'll transition this variation into Sun Salutation A. I'll be guiding stepping back. If you'd like to jump back, jump forward, take handstand. If that's in your practice, feel free to do so. Making your way towards the top of the mat. Inhaling the arms up and overhead. Exhale, the hands behind the back, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to take the right leg back, followed by the left. We're in plank pose. Exhale through Chaturanga. Feel free to take that low cobra, upward facing dog. Outer ankles are hugging in. Transitioning through plank if you're in low cobra. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. That left foot will come up between the hands, followed by the right. Inhaling, half lift, heart lifts. Exhale, fold. Root to the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Taking that to the other side. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, the hands behind the back, bend the knees, forward fold, arms lift. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, Utkatasana, squat down. Exhale, fold. We're going to take the left leg back this time, followed by the right. You're in your plank pose. Exhale through Chaturanga. Those elbows stay right alongside the ribs. Inhaling, low cobra, upward facing dog. Strong legs, outer ankles hug in. Transitioning through plank if you need to. Downward facing dog. Another full inhale. And exhale. That right foot will come up between the hands, followed by the left. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, fold. Root to the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll add on here. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, the hands behind the back, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, Utkatasana. And exhale, fold. The right leg's going to come back. We're going to seal the right foot down. We're going to prepare for Warrior One. So that right foot's around a 45-degree angle, and you can adjust as needed for that back knee. Generous bend into that front knee. We're going to come up slowly. Hands lift off the mat. Then the arms by the ears. Root through both feet, lifting all the way up. Virabhadrasana 1. So adjusting where you need to make it feel good in your body. Classically, the hip points and the pelvis draw forward. If that doesn't work for your body, feel free to angle a little bit to the right. Make it work for you. Gazing at that front knee, making sure that knee is over the ankle, tracking over that toe. Back leg is super strong and you're lifting through the inner arch of that back foot. Tailbone lengthens down. Now working that upper back, that strong back. Shoulder blades draw through the chest. And then those back ribs lift. Feel that action. Broadening through the collarbones. Front ribs hug in. Really working all those actions today. One more full breath, Virabhadrasana 1, super strong arms. Then we're going to open up the arms into Warrior 2. Adjusting how you need to. Ideally, the goal is to move as little as you can between 1 and 2. So really finding a nice solid pose, rooted through both feet. Those heels scrub together so you're activating those inner thighs like there's a block between them. So again, once again, let's go ahead and put the palms up this time. And draw the shoulder heads back a little bit more. And then bring the palms down, just making sure you're lifting through those back ribs, tailbone lengthens down. We'll interlace the hands behind the back. Again, broaden through the collarbones. Lift through the back ribs. We're going to take a modified humble warrior in Warrior 2. So we're just going to go ahead and take this down. Classically, it's done in Warrior 1. We're doing Warrior 2 today. Make sure you have a bend into that front knee. Hands lift off as much as you want. Super strong pose, strong legs, strong arms. Release the crown of the head to the mat. Generous bend into that front knee. Rooted through both feet. One more full breath. And then strong, slow, and controlled, coming all the way back up. Warrior 2. We'll go ahead and extend the arms out. We'll flip the front palm, taking reverse warrior. So lightly touching the back leg. Generous bend into the front knee. Reaching the left arm to the ceiling or sky. Get a nice space between that pelvis and thigh of the left leg. One more full breath. Strong back. Soft front. Wild heart. Inhaling back. Warrior 2. Find your focus. Breathe through. Then we'll cartwheel the hands to the mat. Left leg's going to come back for plank pose. Exhale through chaturanga. Elbows hug in. Inhale, low cobra, up dog. Strong legs. Outer ankles and shins hug in. Transitioning through plank if you need. Meeting in downward facing dog. Another full inhale here. And exhale. Push into the hands. Collarbones widen. Back ribs lift. We're going to float the right leg up and back. Three-legged downward facing dog. Hug in with that left thigh and hip. We're going to take that right foot up between the hands. We're going to seal the back foot down, preparing for Warrior 1 slowly. Generous bend into the front knee. Sealing through that back foot. Hands a couple inches off the mat. Arms by the ears. And everything you got brings you up. Adjusting your stance. Let it feel good for you. Again, look at that front knee. Make sure it's over your ankle and over your toes. Strong arms lifting up. Broadening through the collarbone. Shoulder blades draw through the chest. But then the back ribs lift. The front ribs hug in. Tailbone lengthens down. Find a point of focus and breathe. Where do you need strength in your life? Where do you need a little more softness or openness? Breathe, open, and feel. One more full breath. Feel Virabhadrasana 1. slow and controlled opening into Virabhadrasana too. Again, ideally, the least amount of movement is great, but if you need to adjust your stance, please do so. So lengthen the tailbone down. Those front ribs are hugging in. Solid legs. Those heels, imaginary or energetically, scrub together, activating the inner thighs. We're going to flip our palms up. We're going to draw the shoulders back a little bit more, and then palms down. Feel the opening in your chest. Feel your strong back muscles. And we're going to take the hands, interlace behind the back. Broaden through the collarbones. Lift. As we exhale, we're going to take that modified humble warrior. So stay rooted through your feet. Crown of the head reaches down towards the earth. Keep the bend into the front knee. Right thigh is drawing down and under. Active legs, lifting the arms to comfort, and then really broadening through the collarbones here. Use the muscles on your back. One more full breath. Using everything you have, you're going to lift all the way back up and then release the arms. Virabhadrasana 2. We're going to flip the front hand. Keep the bend into the front knee. Reversing your warrior. Viparita Virabhadrasana, peaceful warrior. Breathe fully. Feel your body open. Gaze where it's comfortable for you. One more full breath. Returning back to Virabhadrasana 2. Gazing over that front middle finger. Strong in the pose. Opening through that front body, using that strong back. One more full breath. We'll cartwheel the hands to the mat. The right leg's going to come back. Plank pose. Dropping to the knees always if you need to. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhale, low cobra. Upward facing dog. Strong legs. Now allow the collarbones to broaden here. Transitioning through plank if you need to. Coming into downward facing dog. Another full inhalation, pushing the hands down and away into the mat. As you exhale, tops of the thighs draw you back and up. Front ribs hug in. Let the head go. Let the jaw go. Another full inhale. And exhale. We're all going to inhale into plank pose. We're going to transition into forearm plank hold to build that core strength. So we're going to go ahead and shift down onto the forearms, holding for about a minute here. So relax through the head. Heels are drawing back. Tailbone lengthens towards the heels. Now, shoulder blades draw through the chest, broadening through the collarbones. And then those back ribs lift. So to have that strong back, you also need to have a nice toned core. Open heart, but a toned core. So working that here, you can always drop down to one knee and then the other if this is too much, but challenge yourself. You've got this. Breathe through it. Breathe through the sensation. Breathe through the work. Be willing to walk through the fire. It's okay. 3 more deep full breaths. Shaking is good. Shaking is natural. 1 more full breath. And then coming down to the belly for Sphinx pose. Good work. Nice job. So you can go ahead and separate the feet a little bit here. The arms are like number 11s in front of you. And again, here, broaden through the collarbones. Shoulder blades draw through the chest. Now I want you to draw the navel towards the spine and feel the pubic bone root into the mat. The glutes turn on a little bit. That is good. We're going to take 3 lion's breath here. So nice deep inhale, tongue out. 2 more. Speaking your truth. Nice deep inhale. Don't be afraid. Have that strong back. Have that courage. One more full breath. Nice job. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take our hands into fists. The elbows are going to draw towards the edges of the mat. We're going to do a nice sinus release. So you're going to take your fist and just massage either above the eyebrows or below the eyes. I'm going to give you about a minute here. It's nice to just feel that pressure into the sinuses, getting a nice release. Wherever you feel a little tension, give yourself a little love. So softening here, relaxing the body. One more full breath. And then bringing the head all the way to the mat, we're going to draw the feet together. We're going to interlace the hands behind the back, coming into Shalambhasana, locust pose. So we're going to be inhaling, lifting up the chest and shoulders as well as the feet off the ground. It doesn't matter how high you go, you're just lengthening from crown of the head through the toes. So we're going to go ahead and inhale, lift up. You're going to lift everything you've got. Interlace the hands, broadening through the collarbones. Nice work, really building strength in that back body. So lengthen through the back of the neck. Find your gaze a little more forward of your mat. One more full breath. Holding, and then release. Keep the interlace. We're going to do this one more round. Such a powerful posture to bring strength into our back body. One more relaxing breath. As you're ready, the feet will come together. You're going to interlace the hands. You're going to inhale, lift up everything that you have. Lengthen through the inner knees. Toes are pointing back. Lift the chest, lift the legs. You got this. Two more full breaths. Opening everything. One more lift. And relax. Good work. We're going to take the right arm in cactus shape, left arm just beside you, and look towards that right hand. And let everything go. One more breath this side. And then we're going to go ahead and switch. So you're going to go ahead and take the left arm in cactus, right arm along your side, right ear down towards the mat. 3 full breaths. Relax the back body, soften through the front body, let go. And we're going to go ahead and inhale, back to center, forehead to the mat. Both arms are going to come forward, off of your mat onto the floor. All right, so you're going to have your feet about hip-width distance. We're going to do swimmers, just working opposite arm and leg, building a nice strength and crossing body lines here. So you're going to inhale, lifting up the right arm, left leg. You can lift the head if you want, and then exhale down. Inhale, left arm, right leg and foot, and exhale down. Again, you don't have to go very high here. You're going to get a lot of work just lifting up a little bit, working a little bit into our neuroplasticity, crossing the lines of the body. Such a great practice. Inhaling, about 5 more each side. Again, opposite arm and leg, lifting on the inhale, exhaling as you release. Smooth and steady movements and breath. Let's do one more each side. And then completely let go and relax. So if you want to come up onto your hands, I'm going to demonstrate a couple poses that I like to call Superman and Spider-Man. Again, another great back strengthener. So if you just want to watch the first round, it's on a 4 count or a 2 count of breath. So I'm going to take both arms forward. I'm going to inhale arms and legs like I'm Spider-Man. Then I'm going to exhale cactus arms, cross at the feet. Then I'm going to inhale straight back, Superman. Exhale down. So if you'd like to join me, a lot of active work in that back area of the body. So we're going to inhale Superman, exhale Spider-Man, crossing at the feet and the arms are in cactus. Inhale Superman, exhale back down. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale Superman, exhale Spider-Man. Inhale Superman, exhale, relax. 1 more full round. Inhaling Superman, exhale Spider-Man. Inhale Super, exhale down. You did it, so good. All right, we're going to draw the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to release back to Child's Pose, Balasana. Knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch, arms forward, and feel your back. Here you can feel that your back has been working. Strong, strong back. 2 more full breaths. Taking the breath into that back body. 1 more full round. And then we'll inhale back up. So we're going to prepare for Dhanuransana bow pose, bow pulling pose, and also Parsva Dhanuransana. Has a little fun side turning to the posture. So I'm going to recommend, if you have a towel or a blanket, that you bring a single layer underneath the hip points. Oftentimes, if you have tender hip points or not a lot of cushion, you can get little bruises here through this pose. So go ahead and just place something down if you are sensitive in that area. We are going to use a block in between the legs, just to remind ourselves to hug into the inner thighs and not to splay the legs out too much. Again, always optional. If it doesn't feel good on your knees to have the block in between the legs, please release it. So we're going to take this in stages. We're going to start by bringing the block into the inner thighs, and we're going to come down onto our mats and just making sure the hip points are underneath that blanket. Feel free to release the blanket if it doesn't feel good for you at any time. Forehead down to the mat, and toes are pointing straight back for now. And then we're going to go ahead and place a bend into the knees. And you're going to notice if you can reach back for the ankles or the feet. If you cannot reach back, you're going to take a strap around the ankles and you're going to find the tails of the strap to hold on to. Such a great modification to help you feel this pose. So I'm going to hold on to my ankles. A lot of people like to hold on to the feet. You can either flex or point through the feet. I'm going to flex today. I feel like it activates my legs a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and just start by lifting my legs. I'm going to keep my upper body down on the mat. So I'm going to go ahead, squeeze in the block, and lift my legs up. Just remembering that this pose is not all about lifting the shoulders. It's about lifting the legs as well. And then I'm going to exhale, coming on down. Now let's just isolate the upper body. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to hug into those blocks. But I'm going to inhale, lifting up chest and shoulders, broadening through the collarbones. And then exhale back down. So we're going to do 2 rounds of the full posture, lifting up the legs and knees off of the mat, lifting up the chest and shoulders. So just noticing where you go today, no matter what, you're working hard. So we're going to go ahead and inhale, lift, hug into the block, lift the legs, lift the shoulders. So much work here in this pose. 1 more full breath. And then exhale back down. You build crazy heat in the belly back bends. It's so fascinating, just working the back body, isolating that front body as well. All right, one more full round. So we're going to hug into the block, use those inner thighs. We're going to go ahead and lift up. Dhanuransana, bow pose. Bow pulling pose. Lift, 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 lift. One more full breath. And then exhale, release. Good work, everybody. Relax. Take the block and bring it by the head. You'll be using it for Parsva Dhanuransana. So just however it's best for you to relax, you can take the head to one side. So this is a fun little pose. It may or may not work for your body, and that's okay. I'm taking the blocks just on the side here so I have them for my head to rest on. And you can watch me if you like, if you haven't done this before. So I'm going to go ahead and reach back for my legs. Again, if you need the strap, that works too. I'm going to go ahead and lift up, and I'm going to roll onto my right side. Let my head rest on the block, and then I'm going to come back to center, and then I'm going to roll, lift, and roll onto the left side. So you feel like a child for sure, but you're using a lot of muscles in the back, in the side bodies. Just make sure your knees feel safe here. Feel good. If they don't, please don't do this pose. So go ahead and play with me. Come around, rocking back and forth, using the core and the back body. Muscles in the side body. Maybe one more round each side. When you're all done, you're going to release the legs. We're going to go ahead and come on up. We're going to set up for a supported embryo pose. So I'm going to go ahead and place the blanket back off to the side. So I'm going to have my knees together for a narrow child's pose. And I'm going to place my blocks under the shoulders. My arms are going to come back. So it feels really nice on my shoulders. So I'm going to go ahead and come on down. Again, find that spot where the shoulders can rest. Again, you don't have to have blocks. And then the very top of the forehead is grounding on the mat. So letting everything go. Full deep breaths, about 5 full complete breaths. Drawing our attention and intention inward. Softening our gaze outward and deepening our gaze inward. Returning to your personal intention. Two more full deep breaths. I know this pose is super comfortable, but we're going to come out of it. So you're going to go ahead and inhale. Coming on up, we're going to be transitioning onto our back for bridge pose. I'd encourage you to have a block if you have it. We're going to use it in between the legs. So go ahead and slowly come down onto the back. Taking the block in between the inner thighs. So the feet about hip width distance here. Finding that nice positioning for the legs. We're going to be working the arms interlaced behind the back, 3 full rounds of bridge pose. Again, strengthening the back body as well as opening up through the front body. So we're going to go ahead and inhale, push into the feet, lift up the hips and pelvis. If it works for your body, you're going to interlace the hands underneath the back, and you're going to be able to find a little more lift up onto the shoulder heads. So you're hugging into the block, and I want you to feel the very top of the sternum reaching towards your chin. Find that mobility into your upper back. Feel those back muscles working. You're hugging into the block. Energetically, the tailbone lengthens towards the back of the knees. One more full breath. Gently releasing slowly, vertebra by vertebra, all the way back down. Release the interlace of the hands and just relax for breath. We're going to do 2 more full rounds. As you're ready, we're going to inhale, lift up hips and pelvis. You're going to interlace the hands underneath you. You're going to really find that bridge between the shoulder blades. You're going to find that little space where water could run through. Rooted through the feet. Feel the outer edges of the feet energetically drawing towards the outer edges of the mat, and how that helps you hug into the block a little bit more with the inner thighs, the adductors. Top of the sternum reaching towards the chin, but you have a space between chin and chest, and the gaze stays towards the ceiling. You don't want to look around here. Be safe in the neck. As you're ready, vertebra by vertebra, coming all the way down. And relax. Let everything go. One more full round. So rooted through the feet. Inhale, lifting up hips and pelvis, vertebra by vertebra off the mat. Coming onto the shoulder heads, lifting up, lift, 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 lift. Root into the block. Rooted through the feet. Strong back, soft front, wild heart. One more full breath. Vertebra by vertebra, coming all the way down. Breathe, open, and feel. We're gently going to release the block. Now we're going to come into supported bridge. So we're gently going to lift up the hips and pelvis and bring the block underneath the lower back. You're welcome to take a different level of block. I'm going to stay on the lower level, just softening and relaxing. So starting from the crown of the head, just relaxing the forehead, the cheekbones, the jaw, the neck, the tops of the shoulders, collarbone, shoulder blades. Just letting my body be heavy into the mat and the block. You're welcome to stay here. In this variation, I'm going to take a modified shoulder stand. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my block off to the middle level. I'm going to hold on to the block and I'm going to take both legs to the sky. I like to interlace my hands around the block. That feels good for me. And so we'll just stay here for about a minute, whether you choose to stay in the first variation or take supported shoulder stand. Just a nice inversion, just allowing the legs to, the blood flow moving down into the torso, releasing from the legs. Helps reduce swelling, drains the lymph nodes. You can always do this up against the wall. Let everything go. Feeling vibrations and sensations all throughout the body as we work today. And just allowing the natural intelligence of the body to release and shift and move. Two more full breaths in supported shoulder stand or bridge. I'm going to go ahead and place a bend into my knees. I'm going to ground the feet to the mat. I'm going to take my block to the lowest level, pause for a moment, and then release the block all together. From here, I'm going to go ahead and come into beach pose, I like to call it. I'm going to rest on the forearms, and you're welcome to stay here. We're going to transition into Matsyasana, fish pose. So if you have any neck injuries or you're sensitive to drawing the head back, I would recommend staying just here and just finding that gaze forward. You can always waggle the feet and just relax. So fish pose, again, the arms and the hands, you may have to shift depending on the length of the torso. I'm going to go ahead and point my toes, and I'm going to go ahead and draw my head back. So I want to be able to ground my head to the mat, and I can't do that so far. So I'm going to draw my arms down a little bit more, and then go ahead and open up through the chest and shoulders, grounding the crown of the head to the mat. Matsyasana. 3 full breaths here. One more breath. Wherever you're at, you're going to release all the way onto the back. Let everything go. Feel the opening into the throat space and the upper chest if you're in fish pose. Again, another great pose for learning to speak our truth, yet with gentleness and love. We're going to hug both knees into the chest. We're going to keep the right knee into the chest. Left leg's going to come long on the mat if that's good for your lower back. You can always keep a bend into the left knee. Left arm's going to come underneath the right hamstring, and I'm going to take my right arm overhead behind me on the mat. So I'm getting a nice stretch from my left toes to right fingertips, and you can adjust that right thigh in the hip socket to where it feels best for your body. 2 more full breaths. And then we'll draw the left knee back in towards the chest, and we'll extend the right leg long this time. Right arm underneath the left thigh, left arm overhead on the mat behind me. Again, adjusting the left thigh in the hip socket to where it feels good for you. Stretching from right toes to left fingertips. One more full breath. I'm going to hug the right knee into the chest, rocking a little bit onto the lower back. I'm going to ground the feet to the mat, preparing for supine twist, easy twist. Arms are going to come out into a T, the feet are grounding down. I'm going to go ahead, we're going to twist to the right to begin. I'm going to shift my hips a little to the left to find a nice center line down my mat. Hug the knees into my chest and then bring them over towards the right. Again, taking any twist variation that feels good for your body. I'm going to take the right hand to the outside of the left thigh. I'm just getting myself a little adjustment to get deeper into the pose. And then I'm going to gaze over my left shoulder. So feel the bottom of that left shoulder blade drawing towards the left elbow to get a little more opening into the upper back. Holding 5 full breaths. Allow the eyes to close, face relax. Enjoy this posture. One more full breath. We're going to gently return to center. Feel free to hug the knees in or take a full body stretch in between sides. I'm going to prepare for the left side. So I'm going to go ahead and shift my hips a little to the right, hugging the knees in and then bringing them towards the left. I'm going to take the left hand onto the outside of the right thigh. I'm going to look towards my right side, right shoulder. And then I'm going to feel the bottom of my right shoulder blade drawing towards the right elbow, getting a little deeper of a twist. 5 full breaths. One more deep full breath. I'm going to inhale back to center. I'm going to take a full body stretch. For Shavasana today, I'm going to set you up into a soft fish pose with 2 blocks and a blanket roll under the knees. If you prefer just to take a different variation of Shavasana, just lying flat on the back or belly or side, please feel free to do so. So I'm going to slowly transition on up to get ready for supported fish. I'm going to be using a mid-level block for my head, a flat level block for my shoulder blade area, and then I'm going to take a blanket and roll it up for underneath my knees. Just a really nice heart-opening variation of Shavasana. So again, feel free to take any other variation. So I want to make sure this block is right at the bottom of my shoulder blades. And then the other block supports my head. So you may have to work with it a bit here. Find that spot for you. And the arms come at the sides, palm facing up. So it's a nice natural way to let the shoulder heads draw back. And it helps to draw the shoulder blades forward, relaxing through the feet. And moving the mouth around and taking a yawn or swallow helps to release all the face muscles. So just taking about 3 deep full breaths. Strong back, soft front, wild heart. Breathe, open, and feel. Shavasana. You are welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. If you're ready to transition, just noticing the breath beginning to deepen the inhalation and exhalation. Bringing some gentle movement to fingers and toes. Maybe you rock the head gently side to side. If you're on the blocks for supported fish, you're going to gently transition into a fetal position on either side, whatever positioning you are in. Feel free to come onto the side. And just noticing here the opening, the space created in the front and the back body. Honoring your intention once again. Allowing yourself to carry that intention through the rest of this day. Staying calm and centered no matter what comes your way. We're going to slowly transition into a comfortable seated position. Once you find that comfortable seat, drawing the hands into heart center. Pausing here for a few breaths. And just remembering strong back, soft front, wild heart. It's been a true honor and a pleasure to guide you through this practice. Thank you for sharing your beautiful presence with me. From the light within me, I honor and respect the light within you. Walk in grace and peace and shine bright, my friend. Much love and namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Feel free to stay connected on my website, loveserveinspire.com.